Awesome. Thank you, Jesse. Hey guys, thank you guys so much for being on this webinar with us. Like Jesse said, sorry about the technical difficulties. We're trying to get the slides to work with GoToWebinar, but super appreciative for all of you guys being on this webinar with us. I'm super excited. Every time we do a webinar for our clients, I always start off by saying, guys, thank you so much for giving us the opportunity to present to you, because time is your most valuable resource. As an entrepreneur, as a business owner, as a salesperson, your most valuable resource is time. And the fact that you are, giving us a little bit of your time this morning is just so much appreciated, because I will tell you this, is I know, guys, what you're going to hear on this webinar today, if you apply it to your business, it will help you 10x your business. I feel like I'm standing in the presence of a legend here. Mr. Bill Good has joined us to co-host this webinar, and just honored to have him on this webinar, because I actually shared with him just the other day that one of the things I've learned over my life is how you judge people and their character and what they bring to the table as a company. You really judge them by consistency, because anybody can be good at one point in time. Anybody can be good even for a month, can do things really well for a month, but consistency is really what marks someone's, just legacy. And Bill has over 40 years of helping financial advisors grow their practice. I've learned in just my getting to know him over the last couple months, I've already learned a ton of golden nuggets, and I know today you guys are going to learn a ton, because this webinar is all about generating referrals, but really a unique spin on it. How to generate referrals without asking. And anybody who knows me, especially my clients, knows that I'm a huge proponent of growing your business off of referrals. That's what ReminderMedia has been about, is growing your business from referrals, from repeat transactions. But I'm usually telling my clients, hey, you need to be asking for referrals. So when Bill first brought this topic up to me of, hey, how do you generate referrals without asking? It kind of at first went against the grain of thought that I usually have, my normal thought of, no, you should be asking for referrals. But then as he coached me and walked me through the content of what he's going to deliver for you today, it really all started to make sense, and it aligns so perfectly with how you build a long-term practice, not just a short-term practice, but something long-term that will help you scale. And he's going to walk you through today, guys, 3 different principles of how to grow your business, mainly by generating referrals without even having to ask for them. And before we get started into that, Bill, I want to welcome you to the webinar, welcome you and introduce you to the audience that's on today. And I would ask if you could kind of just introduce yourself and introduce your company, and then I'm going to introduce ReminderMedia for those that don't know that are on this webinar who ReminderMedia is, and then we'll jump right into the meat of this content. So Bill, can you welcome yourself and introduce yourself to the audience?
I'm welcoming myself, Luke, and thank you for asking me to join you. Bill Good Marketing is let's call it a full-service marketing firm. We are a system, and we combine a lot of different elements. You could really compare what we do to, let's say, a car. You can have an engine, but that doesn't get you anywhere. You can have doors, you can have windows, you can have brakes and all this other kind of stuff. That's just parts. We produce what I have immodestly named the Bill Good Marketing System, which is a CRM-based client marketing, prospecting, and practice management system. Its purpose is, quite frankly, is to help the rich get richer. The referral system that we have is part of our system, and I'm going to share that with you. So that's what we do. We've been doing it for a long time. Some of the very top producers in the Barron's 1200 are Bill Good Marketing clients. And so, Luke, there you have it.
Awesome. Thank you, Bill. And guys, I love that. Make the rich get richer. I love that. Guys, just to introduce you to ReminderMedia and who we are, a lot of you on the line are our clients, so I know you know about us, but the ones that are on the line that aren't clients of ours, just to give you kind of a high level, like Bill, we want to help you guys with your marketing, but really where we tend to focus, we've been doing this for about 15 years. This year, we'll work with about 38,000 businesses, everything from financial advisors, real estate agents, insurance agents. And our focus is really helping you connect to your core clients. I always call them kind of like your A-list, the people, the 20% that are driving 80% of your business. How do you stay connected with them so they never forget who you are, but more importantly, they have such a great experience with you that they're thinking of you, so they refer you out to their friends and family. Our clients know of our flagship product. It's American Lifestyle Magazine. And one of the reasons why we wanted to get on this webinar with Bill today is because these principles that Bill's going to walk you through for his system of referrals, without asking, you can use your magazine. So a lot of our clients on the line have American Lifestyle Magazine that they're using. You can actually customize and use your magazine in the tangible application of the principles that Bill is talking about. And so what Bill and I are going to do is Bill's going to share with you guys these principles and walk you through. And for each principle that he walks you through, then I'm going to chime in and tie in for you guys how you can use your magazine to fulfill what Bill's talking about. That way there's some application for our clients on the line that are listening to this of how you can tangibly use what we're providing for you to really go after and generate these referrals that Bill's talking about. For those who have never heard about American Lifestyle Magazine, to sum it up for you in just a few seconds, it's a 48-page coffee table publication all about celebrating life in America. It's a touch point that you can send to your clients kind of as a gift to them. The unique thing is it's your magazine, meaning we make it for you, but it literally looks like you put it together. It's all about travel, art, food, a little bit of everything for everybody. And the key to it is that not only is it customized with your information, but the key is that it's perceived as a gift. And when your clients are receiving it, they're not just thinking it's another piece of financial information that you're sending to them. So they hang on to it, they put it on their coffee table, their countertop, and we've seen it result in a 38% referral rate. So literally, if you're sending to 50 people that are in your A book for the course of a year, which would be 6 issues, you should be seeing about a 38% referral rate out of that 50 people that's coming from it. So guys, I'm going to turn it back over to Bill at this point for him to be able to walk you through these 3 principles, and then I'm going to kind of chime in as we go through this to really then tie in for you how the magazine can help you fulfill the principle that Bill's talking about. So Bill, with that being said, I'm going to turn it over to you to take it away and teach them how to generate referrals without asking.
All right. Well, thank you, Luke. Okay. If I were giving this seminar in person where I could see you raise your hand, my first question would be, how many people in here think they should ask for referrals? And most of the hands will go up. And my next question is, how many of you like asking for referrals? And maybe 1 or 2 hands go up. And how many of you actually do it? And maybe there's 1 or 2 hands that go up. And I believe, because I've done the studies, I did the studies on my business. And in one study, we generated 405 so-called referrals in about 8 weeks. And I was expecting our business would boom, boom, boom. And then when I did the stats, I found we had opened 3 new clients out of these 405 referrals. We were asking everybody we talked to, and we talked to a lot of people. Who do you know? Who do you know? Who do you know that we could give a call to? Is there somebody that's in your office? Is there somebody you went to school with? Is there, who's your best buddy that we could give a call that they need to get their business better organized, blah, blah, blah. And we kept good stats. Well, when time came to evaluate this, I asked my computer operator, I said, Pam, how many clients have we opened as a result of this? And she brought in a report, and it had 3 names on it. And I nearly fell over backwards because that is 1 out of 162. And we're not slouches as salespeople. I said, Pam, this can't be true. She said, it's true. I said, it can't be. And she said, it is. And when I believed her, when I checked the numbers, I went into my sales room and I went in there and I ripped down these various questions that I had written for people to ask for referrals. And at that time, I became the first sales manager in world history to tell his sales crew, guys, you got to stop asking for referrals. It's killing us. because our sales were in free fall. And I concluded that what we had been doing was the marketing equivalent of filling up my sales room with horse manure and telling my salespeople, guys, you got to root around in here. There's got to be a pony somewhere. Well, there were 3 ponies, and I had buried them in crummy leads. And you can call these leads referrals if you want. You can call a dog a cat. But they were not referrals, as I came to find out. So I want to give you a definition of a referral. A referral is a name volunteered by a client of someone needing financial help. So when I ask for a referral, say, Bob, who do you know? And they say, well, you can call my accountant, Adam. Is that a referral? No, it's just a name. And that's what we proved in that initial study or accidental study that I did in my own business. I just had enough sense to keep statistics. So what's wrong with asking for referrals are 3 things. Number 1, it does not generate referrals. It generates names. And these names are not much better than cold call names. Number 2, it puts the client on the spot, makes them uncomfortable. They hate it. And number 3, the advisors, because it puts the client on the spot, the advisors hate it and they don't do it. All right, with that said, what did we discover? Well, after I did this study, I called a whole bunch of my clients and I'm asking them, what kind of referrals become clients? And they go, well, what do you mean? Well, is it a referral you ask for, or is it a referral the client volunteers? And almost 1 for 1, the answer was the clients that become okay. My mouth and my brain are a little bit out of sync here. The prospects or the referrals that become clients were all volunteered, or in actual fact, they were referred. Asking someone, who should I call, is not a referral. It's just a name. So that led me to some further research, a lot of research. And the first strategy that we observed, and I didn't actually set out to create this, I just observed something was happening. And I'm going to explain why in just a minute, but it's called create top-of-the-mind awareness. The second one, create word of mouth. Referrals are generated in large part by word of mouth. And the third one, which is the crown jewel, is to create a referral consciousness. Now, let's go back to this top-of-the-mind awareness. I want to go to my next slide here. We're going to talk about that in a minute. Okay, here it is. Let's define it. Top-of-the-mind awareness is that thought that first occurs when someone is presented with a category. Now, I did this with Luke just as an example the other day, and I asked him, Luke, I'm going to give you a name of a product category, and you tell me what comes to mind first. And I said smartphones, and he said Android. Okay, he's an Androidian. That's fine. We accept Androidians. And I said airlines. He said American. And I said a couple of other things. So he gave me the products that were top of the mind for him. Now, here's the way I came across this. This was another one of these accidental discoveries. I just had to keep my mind open to getting out of this trap of thinking you have to be asking everybody for referrals, which you don't. A good while ago, we started what I called the client relationship retention formula. How do you keep your clients? Well, part of the way you keep your clients is keep your name in front of them. And so we send everybody a letter every month. And here's in part where the magazine comes into play. You're putting your name in front of them. We want to be in front of them somewhere between 22 and 30 times a year. And what happens is, and what did happen, I had lots of people tell me, you know, Bill, ever since I've started doing this client retention formula thing, I'm getting these referrals. I don't understand. What's the connection? And I didn't know the connection. then I nail this definition of top-of-the-mind awareness, that thought that first occurs when presented with a category. Now, further, another definition, it is a subconscious thought that is always there, and it produces the first mental recall in a category. What we're trying to do is live in your clients' minds. Now, here's why this is important. Many of your best clients have not just one advisor, not just two, but sometimes as many as three. So let's say you've got a client named Bob, and Bob's brother-in-law comes to him and says, hey, Bob, my Aunt Martha, I had no idea she loved me. She does, and she loves me $400,000 worth, and I don't know what to do with it. Your sister and I don't know what to do. Who do you recommend? Well, now Bob has three advisors. Your name has to pop to mind first. And that, in my opinion, and I can't prove this, but I just know it's true, that name popping to mind first is why people started reporting getting referrals after they started increasing the contact with their clients to getting it into the range of 22 to 30 times a year. All right. What we do is we communicate by letter, email, and social media frequently enough to ensure that top-of-the-mind awareness is created and sustained. You may have created it, but I got news for you. That top-of-the-mind awareness thought is kind of like a photograph that you put in a sunny place in your house. And the sun shines on it a little bit every day. If you don't keep that photograph in a safe place, it's going to begin to fade. So too with your top-of-the-mind awareness. When was the last time Apple stopped promoting? How about Delta? How about Marriott? Any of these great brands, when did they last say, oh, you know, this is great. We've got top-of-the-mind awareness now. We can take a break. There's no point in spending hundreds of millions of dollars to do this. We got it. Got news for you. That ain't ever going to happen. So we're going to communicate by letter. We're going to communicate by phone in what we call the no contact system or the no contact report. And at any one time, the number of your clients who have not been contacted in at least the last 90 days should be 10% or less. All right, Luke, how are we going to do this?
Yes, so Bill, I love it. So awesome. I agree 100% with you about the consistency. And so for all of our clients that are on the line with the magazine, Bill mentioned that's one of the ways that your magazine can work for you. It's consistently sent out 6 times a year, right? So it goes out every 2 months. And what you want to take advantage of with your magazine for all of our clients on the line is that you can customize the magazine down to the individual person you're sending it to. So when you open up the front inside letter of your magazine, that letter can literally be customized to the client you're sending to, so you can target them with letters that are relevant to what's happening in their life. And if you guys are clients of Bill Good's marketing system, if you're not, you should be, because he offers tons of different templated letters that he's written for you, literally hundreds, for life events that's going on, even things like funerals, stuff like that, that you can literally pick and put into your magazine to use kind of as your tailored message for that specific person that you're sending to. You also all get access in your account interface to social media shares is what we call it. It's basically bite-sized pieces of content in different categories, from DIY stuff to recipes to health tips to a little bit of everything for everybody that you can take and you can share on social media, or you can share through email. And the key here that I would make a point for you guys from an application standpoint is Bill's saying you want to be marketing all the time like the big brands. You want to build this top-of-mind awareness. What you want to make sure you're doing is trying to personalize your message to these people you're sending to, i.e. you customize your front inside letter with a letter that's specific to a life event or a social media share. Imagine that my wife Megan and I are your clients. You're our financial advisor. Well, my wife Megan, she loves to cook and she's a vegetarian. So imagine you log into your account interface today as a ReminderMedia client, you go to the social shares library, you search for a vegetarian recipe, you find it, and you go to her Facebook page, because you really should have your clients, if they're on Facebook, you should have that in your CRM, you should have that stored. And you go to her Facebook page and you write her either a DM, which is a direct message, or you post it right on her wall, and you say, hey Megan, was thinking about you today, hope you and Luke are doing well. Found this vegetarian recipe and it made me think of you because I know you're a vegetarian and love to cook. Thought you would enjoy it. The key there is you're building that top of mind awareness that Bill's talking about, but it's very personal in how you're delivering the content. It's not just like you're blasting content out to them. It's personal, so she's connecting with it, which will make it, or make more of an impact, and an impact is what leads to people remembering you. So those are just two easy ways for you guys to use your magazine and your social media shares that you have in your interface to apply to try to help you build this top of mind awareness that Bill's talking about.
All right, let me just add this. The example here in Paul's Dear Bill and Judy letter is one of our little bits of content, which is an invitation to a shredding party. And this kind of begins to fade into our next strategy, which is to generate word of mouth. How do you generate word of mouth? Well, that's what we're going to talk about, but this is just a piece of content. Luke, as you know, I sent over to Jesse, and she dropped it right into this slide, and that gives you, I have 4,000 pieces in our library that you can pick and choose to your heart's content. You know, not only to send directly, but to drop into your American Lifestyle Magazine section. So it becomes more you than them, so to speak. So, do you want me to continue? Do I have control here? I have the helm.
Yep, you have the helm, Bill. Take it away.
Okay, all right. So let's talk about create word of mouth. Okay. Word of mouth is created when people talk about you. Now, why do they talk about you? Do you think they talk about you because you give great service? I don't think so. Do you think they tell people at a cocktail party, well, you know, our investment return, we beat the S&P by 1,500 basis points, or whatever it is? No, I don't think that happens. That's private conversation, or that's private information. People don't talk about their finances in front of people. So our good friend Jeff Bezos says, if you do build a great experience, customers tell each other about that. Word of mouth is very powerful. Well, how do you get people talking about you? The answer is events. And I know every single one of you know somebody that does a lot of events. And if you look behind the curtain, you will also generally find that person has a lot of referrals. So here we have a competitor's client. And you have your client. And so this lady over here on the left, she needs a referral. Who is she going to ask? Is she going to ask your competitor's client, or is she going to ask your client? And the answer is going to be, she's going to ask the person she knows is happy with their financial advisor and whom she believes is a successful investor. Now, how does she know that? It happens in the course of conversation. So our lady here who needs a referral maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago was talking to your client, and they say, well, you know, what did you guys do this last weekend? Oh, we went to a shredding party. A shredding party? Well, that doesn't sound like much fun. What on earth is that? Well, you know, my financial advisor, blah, 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 every once a year he has a big shredding truck, and they usually do it in late April or early May after tax season, and we bring down all the stuff that we don't have to keep anymore and get rid of it. And they have this guy there cooking pancakes and scrambled eggs, and a guy playing the banjo. It's a party, and we see people we don't see that often have a good time. So what does this lady know? She knows that your client is happy with their financial advisor. So the second strategy is create word of mouth by creating memorable events. So what are some of these events? How about a birthday lunch or dinner? A frequent client guest educational seminars. Now, okay, so let's pose the question. How do you get people to invite people to your client guest seminar? Well, the first thing you have to do in our playbook is identify the people your client knows that you want to know. Well, who are these people? There's parents, if living. There's siblings. There's adult children. There are people that based upon their hobby or their passion, this guy hunts ducks. That lady is a member of a tennis club. Well, who do you want to attend your birthday lunch? Well, how about all the rich ladies your client plays tennis with? But in order to get them to do that, you A, have to know who they are, and B, have to have that information right in front of you. All right, so let's just take an example. And this would be an example for an educational seminar. Let's suppose you're going to do a seminar on identity theft. And your good client, Velda Oldbucks, who's 89 years old, she accepts. Everybody's entitled to one Velda Oldbucks. So you call Velda and you say, I'm so glad you're coming, blah, blah, blah. And then you could say, did you know, Velda, that identity theft can affect the entire family? No, I didn't know that. Yeah, but I can see how it would. Well, I know that your niece Eliza lives here in town. Is this the kind of thing, maybe we should send her an invitation? Would she appreciate that? Oh, yeah, you could do that. Terrific. Will you call and tell her to expect it? Now, did I put any pressure on Velda to invite her niece? No. But notice how different that is from saying, would you like to bring a friend? She doesn't know who to bring. Come on. You have to tell her exactly what to do. You can honor special clients with special events. I'll give you a good example. One of my clients, in fact, I just had a little bit of an email exchange with him today. One of his clients is a senior flight attendant with United Airlines. She mentioned she set a retirement date. He volunteers to pay to put on the retirement party. 30-some senior United Airlines flight attendants attend this, and he's already opening accounts with a lot of them. They don't know what to do when they get that biggest check of their life, but they've got a friend who likes him, and he was right there at the retirement party. Invite like-minded clients to events about which they are passionate. Now, if you were to invite me to a golf outing, I would not attend. I was never good at golf. It got worse. And I actually threw away my clubs on the day that I nearly killed a duck. How do you like that? Poor duck was swimming around and having an otherwise good day, and my golf ball, which was headed for its usual location in the pond, struck it. And so that was it for me. Okay. These kinds of events give people something to talk about. That's what spreads referrals. And I can promise you, as you progress in producing events, your number of referrals will go up. So here we have shredding day is coming. We have invitations. And now you've got tools in the magazine for that, right? Right, Luke?
That's correct. So everybody, actually one of the main usages of the magazine, believe it or not, is to use at your events, your networking events, the events that you host. Like on the real estate side, they love it at open houses. Our financial advisors, they love to use it at their seminars. The reason why is because you have a feature in your account interface called promotional copies. That's where you can drop ship or bulk order, for lack of a better word, a bunch of magazines sent to you. And sometimes our advisors don't realize that you can actually customize the magazine for your event differently than the magazine that goes to your core client. So if you notice here, the Shredding Day is Coming ad, that's an ad, obviously, when Bill gave us the idea about a shredding day, our creative team created this ad that now can go on your back cover. So if you guys do an event, like let's take for instance, like a client appreciation event. Imagine that you customize the magazine as your party favor, that not only do you customize the ads as maybe we do a nice thank you ad on the back cover that thanks your clients for a great year, you write a letter on the inside cover that thanks them not only for coming to the event, but also thanks them. It's almost like your Christmas letter in a way, thanks them for a great year. It's your client appreciation event. Then some of our people that are super adventurous, when they host their client appreciation event, they use the recipes in the magazine as the food that they're going to serve at the event. Because think about the buzz that you'll create when the food you serve, when you're giving away your magazine almost as like a party favor, and you can mention to the people on their way out, oh, by the way, if you like the food that you were eating, if you like the appetizers, or maybe it's the dessert, whatever it is you choose, you can say, oh, that recipe, if you want to try it yourself, is actually in the magazine that I'm giving you. So you can customize your magazine to go along with the event that you're doing. You can also on the digital side do this. So if you're using the digital magazine as well and you want to write a letter in the digital magazine about the event, you can do that as well. And the key really here is that the magazine really can serve as your impression piece. So it's something that's non-salesy, very much gift-driven, that you can give to people, and it's a way for you to give a great impression to them as they come to your event. So take advantage of that by getting on the phone with your coach or going into your account interface and tell your coach, because every one of you, if you don't know it, if you're a client of ours, you have a marketing coach that you can tell about the event you want to showcase or you want to do. Maybe it's an educational seminar, and we can create collateral to go on your magazine to match that event that you're doing. So that's how they would use it, Bill.
All right, let's carry on. Third strategy. Create a referral consciousness. And this is the crown jewel. Now, when I do this in a live seminar where I can see people raise their hand, I'm going to typically ask a question. Why can't your clients, that's the key word, is can't, not won't. Why can't your clients give you a referral? And very few people get the correct answer. And the correct answer is they don't have your name and contact information easily available on their person. All right, they may have your name down as Jeff or Bob, it's in their phone, but they don't have, and quite frankly, some folks don't even know how to look it up. So how do we create a referral consciousness? Well, let's start again with a definition. It is that state of mind of a client that causes the client to give you the name of a friend or associate who needs financial advice. Now, it's one thing for a person to make a referral. So your client Bob is out there, and his brother-in-law comes to him. He says, "Bob, well, who do you recommend?" Well, I recommend John Smith. But John never gets the name. So we have to teach clients over a period of time that not only do we value and accept their referrals, but they need to let us know who they are. And I have to tell you, this takes a little time, but it is something you can do. So how do we do this? We do what we call promote referrals. Now, promoting referrals and soliciting referrals are two different things. And soliciting referrals, which we don't like asking for referrals. Who do you know at the Rotary Club, blah, 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 blah. No. Promoting referrals is gently and persistently reminding your clients that you value and accept their recommendations. It is not asking. It is not putting people on the spot. And there are a number of ways to do this. I'm going to cover some of them. One of them is to give a gift that encourages more referrals. So, an example, you might send them some movie tickets. Well, how many would you send them? Would you send them 2? I wouldn't send them 2. I'd send them 4. So unless they have small kids, what are they going to do? They're going to call one of their friends. Say, let's go to the movies. I've got some tickets. We'll go see Clint Eastwood's new movie, The Mule, which I just read an interesting review on. And let's go do that. Well, where are these tickets coming from? Well, my financial advisor, blah, blah, blah. You can give a fine bottle of wine. That's another one. You want to give people something that they will share with their wealthy adult peers, okay? Now, a referral basket in your office. What is a referral basket? It's a splashy, well-designed gift basket. It has a sign on it called referral basket, and it sits prominently in your office where people can see it. And somebody's going to say, well, what is this? And your correct answer is, well, this is my referral basket. Well, how does this work? Well, when somebody gives me a referral, I'm so excited that they can take whatever they want out of the basket. Oh, I don't have anybody right now. Well, that's fine. That's fine. If somebody occurs to you, just send me a name, and I will be happy to let you pick whatever you want. The presents in there need to be good, and you need to have somebody with a good design sense make that basket. I would be rejected from that design committee. My wife would not. So there you have it. Okay? Yeah, you've got a customized magazine. You can put messages in your customized magazine talking about referrals. And now here's just a very important point, by the way. Some of you may work for a firm that has an account minimum, and I have to tell you something. If a client offers you a referral to his nephew who's just got $10,000, you accept the referral. You take all referrals. If you turn down the little one, I guarantee you'll never get the big one. Okay? So you can promote referrals by phone or in person. So you could be talking to someone, let's say they own a company and they're hiring engineers. Hey, Bob, you're hiring a lot of engineers now, aren't you? Yeah. I'm guessing they're mostly coming from other engineering companies. They're not right out of school, right? Right. Well, these guys have a particular problem I might be able to help with. They have to make a decision on their 401k. So if you don't mind, I'll drop a couple of my business cards in the mail, and if somebody seems like they need some help, give them one of those cards. I'll be happy to help them. At no time in doing this have I asked for referrals. That doesn't work. Promoting referrals does work. What we're trying to do with each of these three strategies, quite frankly, is to get people to volunteer more. All right? So, over to you, Luke.
Yes, so this referral consciousness, guys, is something that we have seen play out so true in our business over 15 years of doing this. And like I said, we've had the privilege even this year just working with 38,000 different businesses. And what we find to be true is exactly what Bill is talking about. It's the idea that you are promoting to them that you want referrals. You're not technically going, hey, who do you know? Because the key here is once you put in front of them that you promote referrals, that you need referrals, that you want referrals, what happens is they start going about their life, and now it's in their subconscious. And so when the topic of conversation comes up from their friends, from their family members, where your expertise might be relevant, i.e. Aunt Martha gives you $400,000 to your cousin to invest, now they think of your name. What we have found to be critical here is in the consistency of what you do. And that's why I want to point out to you and all of our clients on the line, one of the main things that you get out of this magazine is you get that consistency of 6 times a year, but more importantly, you're not asking for business with the magazine. That's been one of the unique differentiators of what we bring to the table for your marketing plan. As you think of 2019 and you think of American Lifestyle Magazine as one of your touch points, one of the keys to it is that it doesn't have to do with financial information. It literally is just a gift that you're giving to your clients that will hopefully trigger what I like to call as the reciprocity effect, which is when you're doing something nice for someone, they want to reciprocate to you. And I would encourage you that this is your opportunity as you look at 2019, when you are trying to promote referrals, obviously put in your letter, customize your letter on the inside to promote referrals, that you need referrals and that you're looking for referrals. But more importantly, utilize the content that's not product related, it's not your business related, it's more life related, relationship related, use that as your reason to get in touch with your clients. Because what we have seen to be true over working with thousands of financial advisors is that when you call my wife Megan and the first words out of your mouth are more relationship driven things like, hey, was thinking about you and Luke, you came to my mind because my magazine just got delivered and it made me think of you guys because I know I'm sending it to you, and actually there was a great recipe in there, and I know, Megan, you're a vegetarian, so I thought I'd point that out to you. When that becomes your conversation and not, hey, I wanted to check in with you about your finances and give you the update of the market, what we have seen to be true from our statistics and our research is that you are so much more likely to get referrals when you start the conversation from a relationship standpoint, and then at the end of your conversation, you do what this Bill's talking about, which is the promoting of referrals, and that if they know somebody, obviously this type of idea. That has proven to be so much more true for us. And so as you look towards 2019 and you look towards your next issues, what I want to encourage you guys to do is take advantage of the content in the magazine and have conversations with your clients geared around that, and then put your messaging within the inside letter to promote referrals. And your marketing coach can help you do that and help you customize your letter that way.
Perfect. All right, recap. 3 strategies. Top of the mind awareness. This is just continuous communication from you to your clients. Apple doesn't stop doing it. Marriott doesn't. Google doesn't. None of the major brands ever stop. Why do you think you should stop? So you have to get your name in front of your clients, and we think it's somewhere between 22 and 30 times a year. It could be more. It is not less, okay? And what you will notice when you do this is the number of referrals will go up, okay? Now, the second strategy, create word of mouth. You have to get people talking about us. This is where you just you snatch referrals out of the mouths of your competitors because they think of you first. Your competitors are not doing this. They are calling them every once in a while. They're spending most of their time with their top 20%. The bottom 80% are not getting phone calls. And I have to tell you, folks, some of your best referrals will come from people in the bottom 80% of your book. You treat them with dignity and respect. They're impressed. They tell their rich aunt they're wealthy. I mean, one of my clients reported getting 2 accounts with a total of $16 million because he treated one of the foremen at one of their plants well, and this guy told the 2 bosses, the 2 brothers who own this big company, all about it, and he got $16 million. How stupid is that, not to stay in touch with your bottom 80%? And finally, referral consciousness. Yes, you can get them giving referrals because they're thinking about you. Yes, they'll give you some referrals about creating word of mouth, but we have to get that final piece where they tell you the name of it, because quite frankly, when your client Bob tells his brother-in-law Fred, you need to call Joe Blow, sometimes Fred won't do it. Sadly, a lot of times Fred doesn't do it. So you have to get it to the point where Bob says, well, you need to call my advisor, Joe Blow, and if it's okay with you, I'm going to call him and tell him to give you a call. You good for that? Yes, I am. Boom. Now that's how you get referrals.
I love it, Bill. Yeah, I love it. Hey guys, just as to tie in to obviously encourage you to take action. We're a company that wants to reward action takers. Just to encourage you to take action on these strategies, we want to offer you guys a webinar deal. But I also wanted to make just a point to you guys is we've been obviously working in finance in the financial industry now since about 2010 with clients, but we've been working in real estate for about 15 years. And what's interesting about what Bill just mentioned is he mentioned that you should be keeping in touch with your clients clients, between 20 to 30 plus times. Well, there's the guy who started Keller Williams, and Keller Williams is the largest real estate company in the world. I think they have like 169,000 agents around the globe. And you know what he came up with? This was Gary Keller. When he was doing his marketing, he came up with that you need to keep in touch with your clients on the real estate side 33 times. So I thought it was super interesting when I first got to know Bill and when he's sharing this strategy, how he in his career over 40 years of doing this has found it to be effective between 20 and 30 plus times. And here in a completely different industry than finance, this person is finding the same thing. And I believe that's because human beings don't really change. Human beings are the same. Obviously the service you're giving them is a little different. And so I want to encourage you guys that the magazine is obviously 6 of those touch points for you that you can utilize. And then you have the events that Bill has talked about that you can do. And just to encourage our customers that are on the line, anybody who wants to add to their mailing list, we will pay up to half for your next mailing of the people you add, just as a thank you for attending the webinar. So add some of the names that you haven't kept in touch with. Think about what Bill just said. Treat even your lowest accounts well. Add them to the mailing list. We'll pay for half of that. And then we'll also, for anybody on the line who's not a customer of ours yet, but wants to maybe try this out, we'll give you 15 free magazines. You could use these magazines at your event. We'll customize them for you for the event you want to try to maybe implement this strategy of events that Bill's talking about. So just as a thank you guys for attending the webinar, I wanted to offer that to you. And then I'm going to turn it over to Bill right now to give you guys kind of what he is sharing with you. And I have to tell you guys, he's going to give you a free 2-year marketing plan. So you definitely are going to want to check this out. So Bill, go ahead, take it away, share with them what you're giving to them.
All right. What we have, folks, which will give you an idea of what you might accomplish for your business as a whole in the next 2 years, is what we call a 2-year marketing plan. It analyzes up to 9 different channels on which assets flow in. And you will get an idea of how much you might bring in from current clients, how much from client referrals, how much from client introductions. An introduction and a referral are not the same thing. How much you might bring in from strategic partners and from your social connections. Those 5 channels are the relationship marketing channels. And then we have the mass marketing channels. And we will, if seminars are in your future, we will analyze your seminar capabilities, what you might accomplish there, what you might accomplish with direct mail. And if you are going to be a cold caller, we have developed a system called precision cold calling. And finally, if you're after the high net worth sector of the small business market, we have a strategy we call tipping, targeted in-person prospecting. And we're going to give you an idea what you can accomplish in each one of those. The 2-year marketing plan is free. You get it whether you decide to do business with us or not. And hopefully you do, but you get this plan anyway. So I want you to write down a phone number. And the phone number is 888-495-7303. I'm going to give that to you again. It's 888-495-7303. You'll be talking with Michelle Graves in my company, and she will give you your 2-year marketing plan. So back to you, Luke.
Thank you, Bill. Hey, guys, we want to open it up to questions right now. Obviously, Bill is a wealth of knowledge, and so I want to open it up to questions that you guys can ask. There's a questions tab in your GoToWebinar. Just so you know, the webinar is recorded. All the slides are going to be emailed to you. The webinar will be emailed to you so you can reference back to what Bill has shared and what I have shared. The landing page that's going to be sent out will include links to get, obviously, the 2-year marketing plan, as well as for you to be able to claim the deal to get half off on the next mailing that you want to add names to. So all that will be sent to you. But if you guys want to put in some questions to the questions tab on the webinar that you've learned or on the customizing of your magazine, feel free to do that now. And Jesse's going to actually facilitate some of the questions if there's some questions that are coming through.
All right, so the first question is from Josh, and it's how do I customize the ads on my magazine?
Okay, so that's a great question. So we actually have a whole creative services department. that you can take advantage of here at Reminder Media. So if you obviously are not a designer, and I'm assuming most of you didn't get into financial advising to be a designer, you can take advantage of our creative services. You can either do that through your marketing coach, so you can get a hold of your marketing coach by calling in, or you can go to creative.remindermedia.com, where that you can actually put in kind of what you want your ad to be and walk through the whole process, and we'll then design it up for you and send it to you for review. But you can take advantage of it that way, and you can think outside the box. We obviously have tons of different templates that you guys can use in the interface, but you can think outside the box. Like, say you have a charity that you partner with in your local community. We could actually create an ad for you that focuses around that charity. Or I know a lot of our advisors like to put on some of the stuff that they're doing in the community with their clients. So we can customize that all up for you and put that on there. So again, you can call into your coach or visit the website. But great question.
All right, the next question is from Rebecca. What types of seminars should I do?
So Bill, I'm going to throw that to you.
I didn't get one of the words in there, Jesse. Give me that question again, would you?
What types of seminars should I do?
All right. There are three broad types of seminars out there. Okay. There is the classic dinner seminar. There is the seminar type of seminar now that's being promoted by White Glove, which is the educational style seminar. And then there is the college style seminar, which is done through, generally, there's a program called Financial Strategies for Successful Retirement, FSSR, pronounced FISR. And quite frankly, you can do any one of these seminars. They all work. So which one should you do? Well, that really gets into more of a personal type of decision. Some people I know cannot get their heads around giving a 1-hour seminar and setting a reasonable number of appointments, especially when that 1-hour seminar may just have cost them $4,000. That's the classic dinner seminar. They would rather spend maybe 6 to 9 hours on 3 different college classes or high school adult education classes, where they get a much higher closing rate. They may not get as many people, but they tend to get a much higher closing rate because they've had 6 to 9 hours to bond. And then there are people who like the social media promoted seminar that White Glove does. And these are seminars typically given in libraries and public meeting rooms. They all work. So which one should you do? Pick one. But whichever one you pick, you have to be willing to stay the course, because oftentimes it's the first few that are not right. You have to keep correcting and modifying, changing. You may need to change the location. You may need to adjust the number of slides. You may need to change the schedule. But if you stay the course, and if you are a decent speaker, you don't have to be one of these speakers that, gets people so excited they're waving their arms, running around with their hair on fire. You have to be a decent speaker and put on a good show. You can create a seminar money machine. And part of what we do is help coach you into the seminar that's right for you.
Love it.
All right, so the next question is a once-a-year shredding event generally enough, or should there be multiple events throughout the year?
Really good question. A decent question to ask yourself: how many events should you do? And I'm gonna give you a number that one of the very top advisors in the country does, and he's in the 60 to 80 events per year range. All right, now that's a big budget. I happen to know this guy very well. He's a member of 3 golf clubs. He is out there every week with various big events, small events. He's taking people to play golf. He's chartering a bus to take them to a Yankees baseball game. He's going to an art exhibit in New York City, blah, 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 blah. So what should you do? Well, how about 12 birthday lunches a year? That's a starter. How about 4 client educational seminar events a year? How about 2 to 4 social events and 1 or 2 special events? Now, what's a special event? It's a client retirement party. It's a client who's been acknowledged or recognized for some important accomplishment, and you have to be involved in those events. So add those up. That's a decent number. Is that an intense budget? You bet it is. But hopefully the people that are on this who are also have the money to buy Luke's lovely magazine have the money to invest in their business. And what you have to look at is, let's just say you spend $20,000 this year on your entertainment budget. If you generate $20,000 in recurring revenue as a result of that, you just bought a $20,000 income stream for the next 10, 15, or 20 years. Now, how is that not a worthwhile expenditure? So 1 event a year is not going to cut it. 10, 20, 25, that begins to get you into the range that the top referral producers in the country live.
Awesome. So the next question is from Brian. He said, I didn't realize that I had marketing assistants. How do I contact my marketing advisor?
So that is a great question. So there's a couple ways you can do it. You can get on our website, ReminderMedia.com, and there's a chat program that we use on the website that you can literally chat, and we'll hook you up with your marketing coach that can get in touch with you. You can also give us a call at 610-878-5000. And we will point you, because obviously we have a lot of clients, so you'll have a certain marketing coach that's assigned to your account. They will then get you in touch with that person and they can walk you through. And your marketing coach obviously will help you not only customize your magazine, but what we're really into is understanding what you're trying to do strategy-wise. So let's take 2019. What's your strategy? And let's say you're implementing one of your strategies to be events. Well, we want to know about those events so we can help you. In fact, you guys can check out our YouTube channel, youtube.com/ReminderMedia. We did a webinar with White Glove. So White Glove Workshops puts on seminars for financial advisors and helps them. Bill's been mentioning them. We did a webinar with them that literally coaches you how to do a successful seminar. And these are things that our marketing coaches are trained up on. So let's say your strategy is seminars is one of the ways you want to generate, obviously, new business for you in 2019. We want to understand that and start working with you on when those seminars are going to be so we can start customizing your magazines that way. And then also, one of the greatest things about a marketing coach that I think is often overlooked is the accountability partner. So if the more you let us know about your business, the more we can hold you accountable, for lack of a better word, every time we talk to you to go, hey, we talked about X, Y, and Z in January. We're now in March. How is it going? Have you followed through on what you said you were going to do? And I know in my own life running this business, Reminder Media, even myself, having someone that I'm accountable to or someone that I just at least am sharing, here's where my business is at, is really instrumental in helping me push myself along to getting those things done. So check out your account interface. Go to ReminderMedia.com. Use the chat program there. They can hook you up, or give us a call at 610-878-5000, and they will hook you up with your marketing coach. But that's a great, great question. So guys, really appreciate all the questions. We're going to end it here because we're at the end of our hour. Like I said, it's all recorded, so we're going to send it out to you. Thank you so much for getting on this webinar. Bill, I just want to thank you personally for just giving us your time, for being on this webinar. Really, every time I hear you speak, I take away another golden nugget. And so just really appreciate you sharing for our audience, and looking forward to working with you more and learning from you more as we go. Guys, thank you all so much. Please take advantage of Bill's 2-year marketing plan that he's giving away for free. Please check out Bill's marketing system. Like I said, 40 years, consistency there, 40 years in helping financial advisors, thousands upon thousands of them, grow their practice, proven ROI. So I know you're going to get a lot of great stuff if you check out his stuff. And please take advantage of the webinar deal just so you can take action on some of the principles. I'm going to close our webinar with this. by just saying the difference between a top producer and a mediocre producer in every industry that I've been a part of. I work with over 140 different industries here at Reminder Media. Every single industry, the difference between the top producers in those industries and the mediocre ones is that the top producers don't just listen to a webinar. They listen to a webinar and then they put into action something they learned. I'm not saying you have to put in 100% of what you heard today, but take one thing and implement it tomorrow. And that's going to move the ball down the field closer to that end zone, closer to that life of freedom that you want to live. And so really appreciate your time. Hope you guys have a great rest of the day, and I hope you have a Merry Christmas and a great rest of the year. Thank you guys so much for tuning in.